Testing, 1, 2. All right, I tried to work through some kinks. When I tell you guys, this is literally my first time ever going live on YouTube. We gonna work through this together. So if you can hear me, if everything is working right, I just need y'all to do me a favor. Let me know in the live chat. If you can hear me, uh, tell me you can hear me. Definitely drop a one, drop a yes, I can hear you. Just tell me something. I want to make sure this live chat is going well. All right, I can see something. All right, so it looks like we working. I apologize for the delay. If you were probably here on time, you would have saw that I had the orientation just out of whack. Again, this is my first time, so I apologize for any mishap. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I hopefully you guys saw me. If you're a subscriber, I posted in the community side. I made a post just asking for you guys to drop any questions that you may have, and I will do my best to get to it. So I wrote all of those questions down, and I actually had some other questions and things I wanted to address and kind of touch base on because I've been making these videos now for just over 2 years, and this is my first time going live and doing anything like this. So I'm kind of excited about it. Hopefully you guys are. And the biggest thing for me is if you like this, of course, by the end of this live, I need you guys to let me know. I need you to, tell me in the comments if you think this is something we should do, more often moving forward. Now, with that being said, the first thing I want to do is shout out all of my subscribers, anybody who's been subscribed, whether it be from the very beginning all the way to now. If you just subscribed this morning, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate, the love. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And I do this all for you guys, just making as much, content as I can whenever I get free time. All right. So what I first thing I want to touch base on is I made a video about 2 years ago called How to Build Business Credit. That video now has close to 500,000 views on YouTube, which is pretty dope, right? But that video, is not outdated at all. It's still very consistent with how things are done today with business credit. But I have been seeing a lot of comments throughout all of my videos where people I feel like may be jumping the gun when it comes to building business credit. So the first thing I want to, get off my chest and let you guys know is although you may get excited when you're watching my content or any other YouTuber's content where they are, educating you on different vendors that you can use, different business credit opportunities out there. But let's not ignore the fact that this is business credit. So what do you guys think is the first thing you might need to qualify for business credit? Maybe a business, right? So make sure you set up your business and make sure you're doing it the right way, because if you don't have your business set up correctly, it doesn't matter what you sign up for, it's not going to report, right? So that's one of the things that I hear all the time. I signed up for this, I signed up for that. Why is it not reporting? But 85, 90% of the time, it may be because of something that is not syncing, which is business information, right? Whatever you put on that application does need to match with what Dun & Bradstreet is showing, what Equifax is showing, what Experian, Credit Safe, whatever business credit bureau or reporting agency that will be reporting or is supposed to be reporting this information, it has to sync up, right? So even if you just leave off the letters LLC at the end of your business, that can be something that will stop something from reporting. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and write something in chat just to make sure you guys can see it. But anything that I link in this video Well, most likely you'll be able to find it in the description. If not, I will put a comment in the live chat and pin it. But again, no jumping the gun. Make sure that when you're watching my videos and you're watching anything else that you may see or hear about on YouTube, you do your due diligence. Don't just jump in and apply. Make sure that you meet that criteria. Make sure you do meet the minimum qualifications before you just jump the gun, because you do need to qualify for business credit to obtain business credit. And sometimes you can slip through the cracks and still get an approval, even though you technically shouldn't have. So I got a video I made. It's on my YouTube channel called How to Qualify for Business Credit and the 8 Keys of Having a Legitimate and Credible Business. So that's something you guys definitely want to look out for and watch if you haven't already. For my newbies that have just started building business credit, or you just opened and you just formed a business and you're just kind of excited and ready to jump in. Now, another thing I've been seeing, people who have sole props, right? Sole proprietorship businesses. Yes, you can build business credit with a sole prop, but you're gonna hit a wall very quickly. Consider what a sole prop is, right? I mean, when you are a sole proprietor, I mean, technically, you are running a business, you are operating a business, but it is you that is applying for something. It's not really your business. There is no corporate veil, right? There is no protection. So it kind of defeats the purpose if you apply for a business credit card, for example, for a business that is formed as a sole prop, because there really is nothing preventing the lender to come after you as the business owner. So that's the whole purpose of having business credit, is so you can use OPM, which is other people's money, as my real estate investors know. So I do recommend you switching to either LLC, C corp or S corp, something other than that sole prop. And it's okay to keep it. Just know you will be very limited, because some vendors just flat out will not accept you if you have a sole prop. But the flip side is you may be able to still get, funding and things like that. Just keeping it real. And then next thing is, I had someone who asked me a question just literally yesterday about the Amazon Business Credit. So there's a few different Amazon Business Credit products, but on that How to Build Business Credit video that has nearly 500,000 views, I made it clear that you should not use and put down your social security number on the application. I just want to clarify something. So at the time that I made that video nearly 2 years ago, Amazon had several different products. They have the most popular product, which is the Amazon Prime Amex, which is American Express business credit card. Now, that business credit card today is pretty much your only option. And if you apply for that card, you have no choice but to give them your SSN, because they do require a PG, which of course is a personal guarantee. Now, literally just a few months ago, about 6 months ago, maybe more, there was an option where you could sign up for a Net 55 account, which I also spoke about on another video. And that one gave you an option to flat out, do an OPG or do a PG. And on that application, you could just flat out not put your social, and you can opt out of personally guaranteeing that application. But since then, Amazon has done away with a lot of their products, mainly because what they're trying to do is focus more so on forcing you to use their Amazon business account. So it's separate from the regular Amazon account. Supposedly you get different discounts, and you get to see different products that don't show up on the regular Amazon website. So your only option right now, outside of the American Express Amazon Prime Business Credit Card, which is a great card because you do get 3% cash back, and you also have the option of doing net 60 invoice payment terms, is the what they call the Amazon Business pay by invoice option. Now, this option is only available and made available to you if you have and you opened an Amazon business account and you have purchased something using a linked Amazon, well, not Amazon, if you have linked your own business checking account or you've made a purchase using a business card, whether it be a business debit card or a credit card. So if you signed up for an Amazon business account and you haven't received an invitation, it's because you either haven't made a purchase at all or you may have made a purchase, but you pay for that purchase using a personal credit card or personal debit card. And that may be why you haven't gotten the invitation. But the pay by invoice option is invite only. So I would recommend probably just canceling that account that you have and sign up for a new Amazon business account and then doing it the right way this time. And you should get a invitation. So that would be all you really need. And thank you, Tina Fey. Appreciate the love. You said you love my set. I try, with the wallpaper and, I try to make it look unique. I really haven't seen anybody else on YouTube with this kind of setup. One more thing real quick before I jump into the questions. Also, I had someone make a comment on a video that when I was talking about eCredible, now about the privacy, I had a few people actually have concerns or expressed concerns about eCredible's privacy policy and how they mentioned that they will share your information. And you have to sign this agreement that says that you agree to allow eCredible to share your information as if they own it, and also to allow the partners of eCredible to use your information as they so deem fit. So what they are technically saying is, for example, let me put it like this. eCredible is a service where they're going to take your payment history and they're going to report it to the credit bureaus or credit reporting agencies to help you build credit. But they can't do that without first getting your permission to share your information in the first place. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, now I live in Georgia. So my power company is called Georgia Power. Now, you aren't paying eCredible for a power service or electric service, right? You're paying Georgia Power, but you do have to sign an agreement that says that you do approve or allow or will allow eCredible to use the information that they get from Georgia Power and use it as if they own it. So what they're saying is, hey, we're going to get this information, this payment information from Georgia Power once you sync this account. And then we are then going to take this information, this payment information that you have allowed us access to, and we're going to share this information with CreditSafe or with Equifax or with Dun & Bradstreet. So that's all they really mean by agree to allow us to use this information as we own it. I know it sounds a lot worse than what it really is, but that's all it really is. Now I'm gonna get to the questions. So I got at least 8 questions that people posted under my post under my YouTube channel. So I'm gonna address those quick, and then I will get to any comments that we may have in the chat. So the first question I have is from Trisha J. And she said, how do you remove late payments from business credit? Now, Trisha, and anybody else that has this question, if I may be honest, all right, the fact of the matter is, if you miss a payment and the late payment shows up on your business credit profile, it's going to be extremely difficult to get it removed. Now, getting anything disputed on the business side, if I'm keeping it real, is extremely, extremely difficult, and it's unlikely that you will have it removed unless there's a legitimate and easily verifiable mistake or something that's inaccurately being reported. So if you really did miss the payment, you can easily dispute it by going directly to whichever credit reporting agency is showing it. So if it's Dun& and Bradstreet, you can just go to mydnb.com. If you don't have an account, log in, or if you don't have an account, create an account. If you have one, sign in, and then look at your information and then click to dispute it. Same thing with Experian. They have their own website. If you go to www.businesscreditfacts.com, let me go ahead and put that in here. So www.businesscreditfacts.com. This is where you will be able to update any information with Experian. All right. So that does, of course, impact your pay debt score. So you want to go there to check your Experian profile. And then also you can go to, well, actually, there's a phone number you want to call in reference to Equifax. And they will be able to get you squared away, allow you to dispute anything that you find inaccurate or erroneous on your business credit profile. And their phone number, let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. So if you want to call Equifax, their number is going to be 1-800-727-8495. All right. So this is called the Equifax Commercial Information Solutions department. So Equifax is different. They're on a whole different planet the way they do things with business credit. Just keeping it real, guys. You can't even get a business credit report from them unless you have an inquiry, a business inquiry, and then you can only get it via email within 48 hours. Otherwise, you have to wait for snail mail. This is why it's so important to have a membership with NAV, right? NAV does allow you to get and monitor your business credit information from Equifax. And so let me put that again. So again, if you want to call them, Equifax is 1-800-727-8495. And that is how you can get in touch with Equifax, and you can dispute anything that you see that is inaccurate there. But again, just keeping it real. I believe in full transparency. I'm not gonna, sell you guys something that's, false. If you have something that is accurate, like a late payment, you're just going to have to do a better job at making sure that you don't miss any other payments. So me, especially when you have a lot of different vendors and credit cards and business credit things that you use, I would highly recommend creating a spreadsheet. And if you're not good with Excel or anything like that, if you're not tech savvy, a good old, notebook where you write down what you sign up for, when you made a purchase, when that purchase or when that invoice payment is going to be due, whether it be net 7, net 15, net 30, or just a traditional, invoice account or other credit card account. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and answer one of these questions I see in here. Do I need to do something different on DNB to see my pay debt score? All I see is my business contact info, and that's from Amax 40. So real quick, when you are just getting started with business credit with Paydex, aka your Dun & Bradstreet credit score, you're going to need at least about 3 trade lines to report to generate that score. Sometimes you can get it in just 2, but you're going to need at least 3 payment experiences, and that is what we call a trade line. Like on a personal side, on business, it's called payment experiences. So whether you sign up for a couple of tier 1 accounts or a business credit card, you're going to need at least 3 of those to begin reporting. And it does take anywhere from 30 days to 90 days for various things to begin reporting on your credit report. It all depends on the vendor. Some vendors report monthly, some quarterly. So, hopefully that answers your question. And then let me go back to the questions from before. The next question we have is from Bobby Trap CP, or actually Booby, Booby Trap CP. Love the name. The question is, I have Biz Credit Central and eCredible, but nothing is reporting on my Duns and Bradstreet. Am I doing something wrong? So that kind of goes right into what I was just saying about making sure that everything does match up on your business credit profile. You can go and check to make sure everything is good with, directly on the Dun and Bradstreet website, Experian website, Equifax website. You can even quickly do this in the NAV app. If you have NAV, go to NAV, log into your app on your phone, or go to nav.com, go over to settings, go to business information, and they will literally show you right there. They'll show you all three of these business credit profiles, and it'll show you the address and the name of your business. So if you look there and you see something that's different and stands out to you, like there's a different address that's being reported, now that would be why it's not reporting. If there is a misspelling of your name or it's a shortened version of your name, then that could definitely be why you are not seeing this report. But that's what like eCredible or any other business credit service that you sign up for. Now, in reference to Biz Credit Central, I'm so glad you asked that at Booby Trap CP. The thing about Biz Credit Central is when I first made the video about that, which was about a year ago, Biz Credit Central was reporting to Dun and Bradstreet. So the question was, why is nothing reporting to my Dun and Bradstreet? So eCredible itself, your payment, like your subscription to eCredible, does report to Dun and Bradstreet. But with Biz Credit Central, they are no longer reporting to Dun and Bradstreet. Now, Biz Credit Central is one of these companies that has basically severed ties with Dun and Bradstreet. And again, transparency, just to kind of give you guys the background, because I've worked with a lot of these different companies and I've built business credit for multiple companies, and things change. Things are frequently and constantly changing in the business credit industry. So over the past year, really 2022 is when everything changed. I'm just going to keep it real. Dun and Bradstreet has made it extremely difficult for different small businesses that would like to help other small businesses by providing a service that is basically created just to help you build business credit. So Biz Credit Central is one of those businesses where it became very difficult to work with Dun and Bradstreet. So they severed ties, and now they are in the process of getting Experian and Equifax. Now they are reporting, just not to Dun and Bradstreet. So that will be why you aren't seeing it, because they just don't report there anymore. Now, where they are reporting right now is they have it reporting to Moody Analytics. They are also with Credit Safe. And there's one more I can't think of, but there is another third party vendor that they are accurately and actively reporting to. Now, one thing that I want to mention, because I actually spoke to the owner of Biz Credit Central recently, just checking up and seeing how things were going. They are in the process of doing something really special for all of their active members. So if you are currently and actively signed up for Biz Credit Central, once, because they are in the process of adding both Experian and Equifax to their reporting profile. When it happens and when they get that approval within the next, it can happen a few weeks from now or a few months from now, you will get all of your payment history reported to Equifax and to Experian as if it was there from the beginning. So if you've been signed up with them, it don't matter if it was a month or for several months, you will get the benefit of having all of your payment history reported to both Equifax, Experian, plus Moody Analytics, plus Credit Safe, and Ansania, and any other reporting agencies that they have and will be reporting to. So, of course, you can make your decision if you want to stay on board until they get those, more popular reporting agencies on board like Experian or Equifax, but I can tell you that CreditSafe, Moody Analytics, those are also very important to have because, for example, on your Experian credit profile, if you ever go to Experian directly and you get your credit report, your business credit report from Experian, they have this whole separate category that is dedicated to other, like for example the SBFE, right, the Small Business Financial Exchange. So if you have things reporting to them, it will show up on your Experian credit report because they are partnered with Experian. So you can have vendors that don't directly report to Experian and they will still show up on your Experian credit report. And this is why it's important to not ignore the less popular reporting agencies like Moody Analytics, like Credit Safe, like Ansania, and things like that. Let's see. Nina Lynn says, if I paused my NAV account, is that a negative factor after generating a score? Good question, Nina. And the answer to that question is no. Like if you pause your NAV account, of course it will stop reporting. And let's say you stop and you downgrade it to the basic free plan this month, well, it'll show that whenever your last payment was in September, that was the last active payment date. And I'm so glad you asked that question because that goes into something else that's really important to know when it comes to business credit. Guys, when you sign up for these different vendors and you decide to stop using them, it's okay, but you just need to aim for, I would say, at least 4 to 5 active trade lines that you can continue to use, as long as you are in business. Because let's say, let me give an example. Let's say you sign up for NAV and 3 other tier 1 accounts and you don't do anything else and you just stop using them. You're no longer making any payments. You're no longer making any purchases. Well, a year later, not even a year later, 6 months later, your 80 will go down to maybe a 50, and then it'll go down to a 30, and you'll start to see you're losing points because you're no longer showing any active payment history. So that's why if you ever hear me in my video say business credit is all about payment history and payment experiences, now there's something called pump and dump. So pump and dump is when you are basically using like the baby accounts, like the easy approval accounts that I'll talk about on my YouTube channel. If you are using these accounts as stepping stones, then you're doing it the right way. So let's say your goal is to get a Chase Ink card or American Express gold or platinum card, and your personal credit is not that good. You're working on it. So you're going to sign up for these tier 1 accounts and just use them for, let's say, 4 months in a row. And once you've established a solid foundation for business credit, you can then graduate to the tier 2s and tier 3 accounts and then stop using the tier 1 accounts. So that's what we mean by pump and dump. So you can use those accounts until you no longer need them, aka until you're able to get approvals for the retail accounts, for a business line of credit, and for those credit cards that you really do want. And that will allow you to basically stop using those tier 1 accounts. But if you haven't gotten anything to replace those tier 1 accounts yet, you will need to continue to use them. Otherwise, not right away, but once you go more than, I would say, 6 months, anywhere from 6 months to 12 months without using a vendor, your score will become negatively impacted by that. And that's why it's honestly, it's not hard to build and establish business credit, but it is much harder to keep and maintain good standing on your business credit profiles. All right, so let me go to another question. Let me sip some water real quick. So another question we got on the post was from Aldo. So Aldo says, well, he made comments about how he feels frustrated because I'm not sure, Aldo, if you're a new business owner or not, but basically he is accusing lenders of redlining and business credit. So as a mortgage as a licensed mortgage loan originator, I do have sentiment, for that. I understand where you're coming from, and sometimes it can feel like whether you are brand new or you've come across a hardship, it kind of feels like you against the world sometimes because you will watch, videos and you will see the, required approval or the minimum requirements for approval are things that you feel like are not obtainable for you at this time. But I'm here to assure you, although, nobody's picking on you, and you just have to identify and find a program that you qualify for or start building business credit and your personal credit to where you can get different approvals. So I'm gonna touch base on a few things that he said in this comment. So he talked about, for example, all of these lenders are needing or wanting him to have or show that he's making 10,000 monthly in revenue. So that comment may be aimed towards, different videos that I've made. And I just want to tell you that the videos that I make, if let's say I'm telling you about a specific funding product, now that's like if I say you need at least 10,000 or 15,000 per month, or you need at least 20,000 in revenue per year, that's not to get any business loan. That's to get this specific business loan product that I am featuring in that video. There's a ton of other opportunities for you. So, don't get hung up in if you watch one video or if you find out about one funding product and you don't qualify for that, or even two or three. You just got to keep looking until you find something that you can qualify for. And I'll tell you right now, this is go ahead. This is a certified gem I'm about to drop real quick. So, for example, I want you to go ahead and go on over to CaminoFinancial.com. CaminoFinancial.com. I'm about to put this right here. So for startups seeking their first business loan, especially if you do not have great credit, contact or click here to check out Camino Financial. All right. So Camino Financial, they are a funding company that works specifically with businesses that do not have, the quote unquote desired income yet. They're looking to get started, get rolling, and they may not even have personal credit that are, above 700, right? So they will be able to help you get your first business loan. Now it's going to be a micro loan, right? So we're talking well under 50,000. So don't go in there expecting to get approved for a six-figure loan. But this is something that will allow you to at least get started. Like I have several clients in the transportation industry that actually told me about Camino Financial because they were telling me, "Hey, Kelvin, like I found this company that allowed me to purchase my first box truck, and my credit scores were in the low 600s at the time." So at that point, I told, them and myself, I said, perfect. Thank you so much for letting me know about this. I'm going to spread the word to let more people know about Camino Financial. So there you go. There's a free gem. Definitely go ahead and check them out. And then he also made a comment about basically insinuating that as a minority male owned business owner, he feels like he gets no love. So even if you are a white male, I say that again, even if you are a white male, there are grants that you can get. You don't have to be a female. You don't have to be a minority. There are tons of other minority groups. You can be a veteran owned business and still get, different grants. You can be, based on your story alone, the type of business you have, there are grants for you. So you just gotta, just abandon that victim mentality and just do the due diligence, do your research, and you can find something that will allow you to get, extra help. So don't worry about that. That's kind of a toxic way of thinking. There's definitely some ways you can get help and love, bro. So, definitely look out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you another one. So I told y'all about Camino Financial. Another that you can look out for is Seek Capital. So go to Seek, that's SEEK capital.com. So Seek Capital is another one of these funding companies that allows you to get startup capital, or if you're somebody who you're trying to help pay off and consolidate personal credit debt and transfer that debt to the business side so that, it like, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Let's say you're a business owner and you're looking to qualify for a home and you're trying to either refi or purchase a home, but you have so much credit card debt and it's kind of bringing down your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So you can go over to Seek Capital, or some of these other businesses that specialize in helping startup companies, and you can pay off $20,000 worth of debt on your personal credit report with a business loan, and that may be your first business loan, right? So listen, there's something out there, for everybody. You just have to find it and be patient, and have faith that you will be able to get that done. Real quick, I'm gonna answer another question that I see in the chat from Shantae Leveled Up. I have a DBA and want to change to an LLC, but I've started building business credit. So I have to change my EIN and basically start my business over. And I hope I'm saying this right or pronouncing your name right, Shantae. So if you have a DBA and you're looking to change to an LLC, honestly, that seems kind of backwards. So, but I'm glad you made this comment. So here's the thing. If you have a DBA, you can't build business credit with the DBA. You can only build business credit with a business entity, right? So if you have a business entity and you then create and form a DBA out of that entity, your entity will act as the umbrella, right? So that's going to be your umbrella company. So you're going to want to build business credit through that umbrella company, and then you can just use the funding for the DBA. So yes, you technically could start another LLC if you want to build and get credit and get funding separately, and you kind of want to keep those two businesses separate. But judging by the fact that you say you have a DBA, I would think it has something to do with that umbrella company. So you can't build any type of business credit through the DBA. It would have to be through the top company, whatever company the DBA is filed under. So that's the one you're gonna want to build with. Q Milan, there really isn't like a minimum personal credit score requirement for Camino Financial. Technically, they don't tell you, but if you go to their website and you read around, like they say minimal requirements for approval. So like I always say, if you have something in like the low 400s or anywhere in the 400s, you probably don't want to even try. High 500s and up is typically what they mean when they say minimum requirement. So if you're above a 580, maybe, it would definitely be worth it to try. Anything under that, I would recommend working on your personal credit first and then reapplying, because if you do get approved, you're going to be looking at a really high interest rate, which I don't think will be worth it at that point. All right, another question from the post. So this question is from Financially Focused. So at Financially Focused, it says, are there any new Autopilot credit building products? Great question. So there's actually one that I've never mentioned. So, definitely get ready for this one. So, in that Autopilot video, I gave y'all 5 different options for Autopilot. So if any of you haven't watched that video, I talk about how you can build business credit without having to shop on these websites and purchase things and then pay them back later. You can just pay a subscription and keep that subscription for however long you want. And that subscription is going to be what allows you to build business credit. So you kind of set it and forget it, and you don't have to worry about, browsing a website, trying to find different things to purchase. So there is a company called Momentum. And this one is very important because with Momentum, it is not a net 30. If I'm not mistaken, it is a net 90. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull it up. So Momentum allows you to build business credit in the same way that like the red spectrum does. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and definitely watch that. So the red spectrum is something where you sign up monthly. I want to say it's like $49.95. It may have gone up since I made that video. That's another older video. And then you just make that monthly payment and they will report a trade line to your business credit. So Momentum actually reports Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Credit Safe, and Ansanya on the net 30 side. But they also have to where you can get a net 60. Honestly, I'm having a hard time finding the link. So that's something I'm going to come back and put a comment for under the video. But that's another Autopilot option that I have recently learned about. Another question that I see is from at Impress Me with the E, Impress Me. Is there, or what is the best virtual office? Had a bad experience with Alliance because they lost my mail. So first, one thing I want to say is Alliance is actually a good company. And if you had a bad experience and they lost your mail, I hate to hear that, but the truth of the matter is it's not Alliance that lost the mail. It would be the virtual office that you're paying for, like whoever, wherever you are. I don't know. I think you said what location. Okay, San Diego. So it will be the San Diego office that you are paying for through Alliance that lost your mail. And I would just recommend maybe choosing a different virtual office. So these different virtual office brokers like Alliance, like Regis, like Opus, they don't really run these buildings that you rent out, right? They are just a governing body that allows you access to these virtual offices. So in this case, if you want to switch and leave Alliance for a different company that may be able to provide a different virtual office, then Alliance has on their list of available virtual offices. I could definitely recommend Davinci. So that's who I use for my virtual office, Davinci. That link is already in the description of this video. So I would recommend clicking that link, checking out Davinci virtual offices, seeing what they have to offer. But to be honest, I don't think you could technically blame Alliance for that. It would be that San Diego based virtual office that you're paying for. You may just want to, pivot and find a different virtual office through Alliance. Robert Paid Price, he has a question. He says, how do you identify what trade lines are reporting? I have checked NAV, however, they are general, or they generalize without exact names. I'm glad you made that comment and question, Robert. This is honestly the one thing that I do not like about business credit. They don't make it easy for us, and it's not a Experian thing or a Dun and Bradstreet thing. Like, this is just how business credit um, is reported. You will never see the name of the vendor that you sign up for. So if you got Chase, if you got Biz Credit Central, like anything that you sign up for, you're not going to be able to just look on your credit report and see that name like you would on your personal or consumer credit report. It's unfortunate. And this is why it's important for you to, again, document what you sign up for, and whether you're using an old school notebook paper, or you sign up or you use a spreadsheet like Excel. You want to put the name of the company you sign up for. You want to put who is supposed to report to, the date of when you signed up for it, the date of when you made the last purchase, when it's due, the type of account it is. So if it's a credit card, put credit card. If it's a shipping website, put shipping website. If it's retail, put retail. And that's honestly the only way you're going to be able to know what's what. Because when you look at your credit report, you are going to find that it'll just say net 30, shipping, last active payment was this date, and then sometimes they'll give you when you opened the account. And so that's really going to be the only way you can tell what's what. And like, I love how Experian credit report, like, they'll actually show you and break down, okay, these are all the credit cards, and then these are all of the non-credit cards. So that's how you're going to be able to find that, Robert. It sucks, I know, but you know what can we do? What can we do? Um, let's see. And congratulations, Sante. I see that you were approved for Capital One Spark. That's great. I'm gonna keep it real. Capital One Spark. Uh, I'm glad you got approved for it, but just a disclaimer, just to let you know, because you may not know, Capital One Spark is one of the only and few cards that does report to both your personal credit report and your business credit report. And for that reason alone, that's why I have not made a video on Capital One Spark. I may make a video just because of that fact alone. I think it kind of defeats the purpose of calling it a business credit card because it reports to your personal credit report. But congratulations on getting, capital. All capital is good capital in my book. But you just want to know that up front before you begin using that Capital One Spark card. It will show up on your personal credit, but not the biggest deal. But you know, I'd rather you know than not know. All right, another question from Danny Zen. So Danny Zen, thank you for your questions. He actually has, or he or she, sent two questions. The first question is, how can you get started from the ground floor? Got denied for some tier ones due to lack of payment history, etc. Well, Danny, how to get started from the ground floor, got denied for some tier ones. Okay. So if you were denied for some tier ones due to lack of payment history, it just means you don't have um, business credit. Like, you don't have anything right now. So you're a blank canvas. So to be honest, you may not be signing up for tier one accounts. Like, I would need you to get more specific. If you are here watching this live, Danny's in, please drop in the live chat. Let me know what you were denied for, because to be honest, maybe they weren't tier one accounts. It would be kind of hard to get denied for a tier one account unless you just flat out don't have your business set up properly. So if you don't have your business set up properly, like if you don't have a physical address, you don't have a website, and you don't have a domain, you don't have a professional email address, you got Gmail at the end of your email address instead of your domain. I mean, those are all reasons why you could and may have gotten denied. But maybe if you could tell me who you were denied for, I could help you out. The next question he had was, he or she, sorry, 2022, you got to be careful. um, how can one leverage good personal credit to build business credit without resulting in any hard inquiries? Good question. So first, you got to know what personal guarantee means, what PG means, right? Assuming you understand what that is, the best way to do this is to always verify whether or not it's going to be a hard or a soft pull. Like if it's going to be a hard pull, then you don't want to leverage your personal credit and apply if that's something you're sensitive about. Now, I could go into a whole, long monologue about why you don't necessarily need or may not need to be as sensitive about personal inquiries. But of course, if you have a lot of personal inquiries right now, then yeah, you don't want to apply or PG if you know it's going to be a hard pull. Now, me personally, if I'm signed up for like a American Express or a Chase, I go in knowing that there's going to be a hard inquiry. So I will choose to do two things. Number one, I'm going to make sure that the timing is right. So if I've had any other inquiries within the last 90 days, I'm not even going to apply because I know that recent inquiries may cause for denial. But if I don't have any inquiries within the last 60 to 90 days, and I know like I don't have a lot of inquiries in general, you got to decide what's worth it, right? Like getting an American Express card or getting a Chase Inc. would definitely be worth getting or having a new inquiry. But if not, you just want to find out whether or not it's a soft pull. Because if it's a soft pull, then no pain, no gain, right? I mean, there's really nothing to risk. It's a risk-free transaction and application. So yeah, if you got excellent credit, you definitely want to use that as leverage because you could get a higher credit limit. You can get approved for more money, or you could get maybe better payment terms. And then lastly, you could get approved when otherwise you would have been denied if you don't have much business credit. Because I know several people and I've had several clients that have absolutely no business credit, but they were able to get approved because they leveraged their excellent personal credit. And of course, their business was set up and established the right way. All right. And do I have any other questions from before? Yes, I got one more. So Lumina Howard, hello Lumina, if you are here on this live, she asked, how long after you've built up tier one do you move on to tier two? And as soon as you hit, or she said, as soon as you hit 80 paydex, or give it up, or give it a few months. So she's asking, like, when you are going through the tier ones, um, should you just jump right to tier two once you see that you have an 80 paydex score, or should you wait a few months? So, to be honest, what I would say is I always tell people that tier one is gonna be you're laying brick, right? I mean, having a solid foundation is gonna be always a commendable thing to do and a smart play to run, because if you just jump straight to tier two because you have excellent credit, yes, you can get approved for a credit card or a tier three account if you really do leverage your excellent credit. But the risk you still run is you still have a thin credit profile. So why not take advantage of tier one to build that solid foundation? So to answer your question, if you have an 80 paydex score, then really that would mean that you've already built a solid foundation. That means you have to have at least three tier ones. And yes, you can move on to tier two. So yes, I would say if you see you have an 80 paydex score, you can go ahead and move on to tier two for sure. You just want to keep in mind that you may need to continue using those tier ones until you have another, let's say you have three tier ones and you're about to move on to tier two. Well, until you get, let's say, 4 tier 2s or tier 3s in total that you can use and keep active for, and as long as you are operating that business, then you will want to continue using those tier 1s so you can have at least 4 to 5 active trade lines. So hopefully that answered that question. So I'm gonna answer a few more questions in the live chat, and then we're gonna have to wrap this up. Let's see. So Charlize Johnson says, "What is the best gas card with the 80 on DMB and an 86 with Experian?" Well, Charlize, if you have an 80 and an 86, you really can get, I mean, you may, I don't want to like, but you may be able to get any gas card, to be honest. That's a great start. You're doing very well. Now, my favorite gas card, to be honest, would be so you have, of course, you have like the Wex fleet, right? So under the Wex brand, you have the 7-Eleven, 76, Shell, Wawa, like all of these different, very, very popular and commonly used gas stations. They all fall under the Wex brand. But instead of getting that Wawa, Wawa Direct Fleet card or that 76 card or that 7-Eleven card, just get the Wex MasterCard, for example. That way you can use that card at all of the gas stations. Same thing for the Fuel Man card. So my Fuel Man card is the card that I use the most often because I can use my Fuel Man MasterCard at pretty much 90 to 95% of all gas stations. So that is what I would say is the best one in my opinion. Is going to be either the Fuel Man fleet or the, matter of fact, even the BP MasterCard. So many of these gas stations have the MasterCard version. That is what I would say is the best, but you're going to need to make sure that you qualify first because you're going to either need to leverage good credit or have solid foundation business credit to get approved for those better gas cards. But if you sneak in on the bottom tier, the gas cars that you can only use at that gas station, that's still going to be a great option because after you've used them for about 6 months or more, you can upgrade to the MasterCard version. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Let's see. Let me see if I can answer 2 more questions, at least 2 more questions. Let's see. All right, I see a question here. So Cleveland Jolly. Cleveland says, "What's up, Kevin?" Well, my name is Kelvin, but it's okay. It's been happening my whole life. I get called Calvin and Kevin more than I get called Kelvin. But hey, Cleveland says, "I was hoping I could hire you to help me grow my business. Is there a link where I can sign up for your services?" Yes. Well, let me clarify one thing. So right now, I don't have a service where it's done for you. Like you can't hire me to build your own, build your business credit for you, but you can definitely still sign up for a one-on-one business credit coaching call. Those at this moment, you can go ahead and just go down in the description and you will see a link to schedule that call. As of right now, they are 30-minute sessions. You can book as many as you need. Hopefully, you can sign up at your earliest convenience, and I would love to give you a call and help you create that blueprint for success. We'll talk about, where you are at this very moment, what your goal is, and then I can kind of lay out the next steps to get you to where you want to be. David E03 says, "I have a 650 score with 5 months credit history. I got declined for Apple Card. What can I do?" Um, I'm not sure which Apple Card you're talking about, but what I can say, David, is if you have a 650 credit score, you definitely want to lean more on your business credit. 650 is average, so it's not bad credit at all, but you want to work on your personal credit, get it over 700 before you begin leveraging it or trying to leverage it on the personal or business credit side. And I'm glad you said that, because I do want to kind of double down on the fact that you'll never hear me say you can, get huge loans and huge lines of credit easily without personal credit. I mean, it's just not realistic. You will need to build and establish your, or improve on and repair your personal credit too, if your goal is to get business loans. You can't get a business line of credit without them checking your personal credit. And then you're not going to be able to get six-figure loans without them also checking your credit as the business owner. Now, yes, you can get micro loans without it. And they're always small business loans that you can get when you have bad credit, but it's just always going to be worth it to make sure that your personal credit is A1. That way, that's one less obstacle in your way. All right, so that's about it, guys. We've been on here for about an hour. This is the first live, so please let me know how you feel about it. If you think this was helpful and informational in any way, I may continue to do these once a week, once a month. I mean, you guys let me know. You guys let me know if this is something you really enjoy. But as always, I hope you guys can remain patient with me, though, because I will have a lot more time on my hands to make more content. Matter of fact, I want to go ahead and tell you guys, I appreciate you for watching, but I gotta let you guys know that this channel, my channel, is not a business credit channel. I have a lot more information that I can share with you guys. As I say at the beginning of every video, this is a financial wellness, mindset therapy, and real estate channel. I just been harping on business credit because I try to give you guys what you want, and you've made it very clear that business credit is something that you guys really, really want to learn more about. But I will begin making more content about real estate, since that's my field of expertise. And then also, I'm all about this thing in between our eyes. This pink stuff up here. It has a lot to do with your ability to be successful. So we will be getting more into mindset therapy as well. But you guys be blessed. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your, well, if you're live, I don't need to say this, but most of you are going to be rewatching it. So enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. Again, as always, thanks for watching. Peace.